It was a quiet Monday night, November 28th, when I was sitting in my office cleaning my 38. I'm just a lonely private investigator, wondering when my next case was going to come in. You know, I like being a private eye, and even though once in a while I've had my gums massaged with sandpaper, the chance to prove my manhood makes it worth it. Not to mention the dames, which are a minor preoccupation of mine, that I rank just ahead of breathing. That's why, when the door swung open, a long-haired blonde named Roxy Buttkiss came strutting in and told me she was born again and needed my help. My salivary glands shifted into third. She wore a tight sweater that looked as if it were painted on. I looked at her and said robustly, "What can I do for you, sugar?"
Well, I want you to find someone for me.
A missing person? Have you tried the police?
No, I have not.
All right. What's the scam?
God.
God?
That's right, God, the creator, the first cause of things. I want you to find him for me.
Well, why don't you ask Jimmy Swaggart? He's much less expensive than me.
Thank you, but no, he's a little too politically pissed off for me. Your reputation surpasses anyone. I want you to find God for me.
Man, I've had some fruitcakes in my office before, but when they're built like this one, you listen. Why do you want this guy, God, sugar?
That's my affair. You just find him.
Sorry, babe. I trust you can find your way out.
But why? Why?
Unless I know all the facts.
Okay.
Come on, let's have it on the line, sweetheart.
Very well. I'm a student at Vassar, religious major. History of Western thought. I have a paper due December, and all the other kids will be handing in speculative papers. But I want to know. I want absolute certainty. I want nothing more, and I'll accept nothing less. Besides, my professor said if anyone finds out for sure, they pass the course. And my dad's promised me a Mercedes if I get straight A's.
I see. What does God look like?
I've never seen him.
Well, then how do you know he exists?
He must exist. So many people have stood up for God. They have tortured and killed people who'd said anything against him.
Against who?
God!
Where do I start to find God?
That's for you to find out.
Oh, great. You don't know what he looks like.
I've never met him. Never saw him. Although I suspect he's everywhere. In the air. In the flowers.
Interesting. She was a dogmatic pantheist. Possibly a megalomaniac. I made a mental note of this. I accepted the case for $100 a day, expenses, and a dinner date. She accepted. Outside it was getting dark. Maybe God did exist, and maybe he didn't. I just knew there were a lot of guys out there who were going to try and stop me from finding out. My first lead was Isaac Moss, a local clergyman who owed me a favor. I started in immediately with my questioning concerning God. So, you've never seen him,
Are you kidding? I'm lucky if I see my grandchildren.
Then how do you know he exists?
He must exist. He must.
Yeah? Why is that?
Why is that? Why is that? Could I get a suit like this if no one was up there? Here, feel that material. How can you doubt?
As you can see, part of my job is having to talk to cretins like this. But I continue to press for answers. Come on, Isaac. You got nothing more to go on?
Hey, what's the Old Testament? Chop liver? How do you think Moses got the Israelites out of Egypt? Or do you think part the Red Sea? A Boy Scout?
So God's a tough guy,
That's right, yeah.
How do you know so much?
Because we're the chosen people. He takes best care of us, of all his children.
Okay, what do you pay him for being chosen?
Every year we give something up for the Lord.
Like what? Money? Sex? Thinking?
Sure, anything at all.
So that's how it is, The Jews were into God for a lot. It was the old protection racket. Take care of them in return for a price. To get better insight of the case, I went to see someone whom I think, to my mind, may have personal connections with God. So I went to see Sister Celibate at the Ascetic Depuration Nunnery. I was hoping she could help me. I was wrong. Sister, I've been hired for a very important case. I'm searching for God.
Oh, you can find him right now.
I beg your pardon? Where?
By faith, my dear sir, by faith.
Yeah. The problem is this, sister. I'm a detective. I have a personal policy, and that is I demand solid and sound evidence, empirical and indubitable facts.
Oh, I don't know anything about that.
I didn't think you would.
You must have faith, detective.
Sister, it really is against my reasoning. I cannot accept emotion as a substitute for evidence. They would have my license for that.
If you'll excuse me, I must take a bath. With my bathrobe on, of course.
Sister, please. I'll just be outside. You need not put on your bathrobe.
Oh, I know you will, but you forgot about God.
I see. Obviously, she conceives the deity as a peeping Tom, whose omnipotence enables him to see through bathroom walls, but is foiled by a bathrobe. This nun was a nut, a real lunatic, recalcitrant to the laws of logic and common sense. I got into a cab and made it over to Danny Billiard on 10th Avenue. Danny, the intellectual, the rationalist.
What do you want?
I want to talk to Danny. Is he in?
Who wants to know?
I'm a detective and an old friend. Let me in.
Do you have a warrant?
Yeah, sure.
Let's see it.
Sure, here it is.
Sure, come on in.
I had a long talk with Danny. He filled me in on a lot of unanswered questions concerning this God guy.
The guy never existed. It's a big hype. There's no Mr. Big. It's a Senegate. It's international, but there's no actual head, except maybe the Pope. That's a scam. There's only two major reasons why people believe in God. Number one is for a feeling of safety and security, and like the type of feeling that someone's watching over you and loving you. The second reason why people believe in God is simply because they're taught to since early infancy. God, God, God. You have it drilled into your head. Why are you asking anyway?
I've been hired by this crazy dame to find God.
Your endeavors will be futile, my old friend. Futile. As a matter of logic, the belief in the goodness of a God is universally proportional to the evidence. Come on, really, take a look at the condition of the world. Is this the best that omnipotence and omniscience has been able to produce? Tell me, if you were granted omnipotence and all-lovingness, and you were given millions of years in which to perfect your world, that you could produce nothing better than Stalin, the H-bomb, world famine, and little moles with hair sticking out of them? I mean, take a look at this one over here. See right there, I got a little mole on the back of my neck there. And every time I brush my hair, I get it caught in my mole, and it really hurts. And the most important source of religion is fear. I mean, take a look for yourself. And since anything that causes alarm is apt to turn people's thoughts towards God.
But is there any way you can prove that this God doesn't exist?
What was that?
I don't know.
Look out behind you, in the window. What?
Damn. But before the blink of an eye, my buddy was shot right in the back of his mole. I charged down the street chasing the fleeing figure and jumped it. Roxy, so it's you hypocrite, strutting your cute little behind in my office, having me go on a wild goose chase for God, then you kill a man just to get straight A's in Western thought, and so your daddy will buy you a Mercedes.
No, shut up, you lousy existentialist. That's not why I did it. Well, not entirely. I am tired of taking the bus around.
Then why? Why?
Because I can't live in a world without God. I need protection. I'm scared. I'm terrified. Except there's one thing inside me that was tearing me apart.
Tell me what it was.
The doubt. I had doubt in my mind.
That's why, you bitch. You wanted absolute certainty or nothing. And Danny, the rational agnostic, was a threat to your comfortable little myth. Well, this is the end of your rope, baby. You're taking a fall.
No, please listen to me. Come on, how about me and you? We can run off and get married. Come on, what do you say, hey? Come on, we can have children. We can give them a godly education. You know, lie to them about sex. Tell them that if they masturbate, their hands will fall off. We can have household pets. We can have a cat, a dog mouth.
No, you're going to take the fall, baby. We'll set you free, the manifestation of the universe.
What? No, I don't want to hear that existential rationalist shit. No, please.